things that are missed. All right, so let's talk about it. 4.8, graphing linear equations. It says, recall, find the slope and the y-intercept, and then write the equation from the graph. So, where should I start first? Because that's the y-intercept. You need to know what these things are, correct? So, this doesn't go here, that's -1. When I want to write it as a y-intercept, I need to write it as a coordinate point, so what goes there?
0, 0.
There we go. How do I find m if I have this point? What do I need to look for?
H2.
Not quite. Because I have an actual graph here.
Rise and run.
Rise and run. So I need to look for another point to the right. It's called a lattice point, yes?
Yeah.
So what comes first, x or y?
Y.
Nope. X when you're talking about coordinate points. So that means left or right, and then you put the y, because that's up and down. So where's the lattice point to the right of this?
0.
How is that a lattice point?
0, 6. 3.
0, 6 is up here. How is that a point?
3, 1.
What was it?
3, 1.
3, 1, because I have to go to the right 3 from the origin and up 1. Does that hit a lattice point?
Yes.
Then that's what I'm looking for. Any questions? Guys, you need to study the additional vocabulary. Do not just look over the vocabulary that you see in front of you. Look over each piece that I give. Because lattice points means they fall on an exact crosshair, which means it has to fall exactly where the two lines meet. If it doesn't fall there, you can't use it. So, which point do I start with? The point to the left, which is my y-intercept in this case. Where do I go from here? Up 2, so that makes it a, what kind of 2? Positive 2. And then? Right 3, which makes it a, so how would I write my m? Thank you. For y'all to tell me m equals so much today, where was that on the quiz yesterday? So, should I type that in to check it? Let's do that. 2 divided by 3. Give people time. If it gives you a decimal, what do I hit?
Math 1.
Perfect. Math 1, enter. So, did it change? So, do I have my m?
Yes.
Do I have my b?
Yes.
How do I write my equation?
Y equals 2/3x minus 1.
Doing so good today. Where was this yesterday? No, I just want y'all to reflect. Remember, that's a rhetorical question. Any questions on number 1's recall?
Nope.
Number 2, where do I start?
4.
The y-intercept, because it's at 4 up here. So what goes in the place of b?
4.
What goes in the place of the y-intercept? What do I need to do next? Find another point to the right of this point, meaning anything to the right of it. That is a lattice point.
1 and 2?
Do we see 1, 2?
Yes.
That works. So, which point do I need to start with?
Oh, go down.
From the left point and then go down. How far?
2.
So that makes it a,
Minus.
there we go. And then,
4.
right how far?
1.
So that makes it a,
Plus 1.
how do I write my m?
Negative 2/1.
Do I need to check to see if that simplifies?
Yes.
Let's do that. Always. Thank you. Always. What'd you get?
Negative 2.
So, do I have an m?
Yes.
Do I have b?
Yes.
So, what's my equation?
Y equals negative 2 and plus 4.
Absolutely. Guys, please keep this energy for writing this whenever we get to the next quiz and the test. Please don't stop practicing this, because this was one of the #1 most missed sections.
You cut it off the point that we didn't put, like, when after so we put m equals.
Yes,
You count that
that's,
off?
yeah, because that was notation. The direction said check your notation. Because even those who didn't put m equals, that's why you didn't know slope formula was different than slope intercept form. Any questions there? Looking at this one, where do I start?
On the x-axis.
On the x-axis at
4.
Thank you. Making that a, what kind of point? No, I mean the point itself. What's the definition for a point that's on the x-axis? It's a x-intercept. So, do we see a y-intercept? What kind of line is this? Vertical. Heard someone say it. Meaning it has what kind of slope? Thank you. So how do I write my equation? No.
X equals 0?
No. I agree with the first half. No.
X equals 4.
Thank you. Because what will x always be?
4.
Thank you. And that ordered pair is written as 4, 0. That's an x-intercept. You need to write that in. Any questions? Now, let's do it backwards. Graph them from the equations. We're working backwards. So first, find and mark the y-intercept. Find and mark the y-intercept. That's your 0b. And then find 2 or more points. We're going to say 1 or 2 more points. You want at least 3, but if there's only 2 that can fit, it is what it is. We work with what we got. And then connect the points with a straight line and draw arrows at each end. This is important. I don't want no wonky lines. Precision is a standard I have to teach to you guys, which means precision does not mean perfection. That does not mean Miss Lipsey said, oh, there's one bump in this line, I'm counting off the entire thing. It means, does this look like a linear function? If you give me a curve when this is supposed to be a line, that is not precision. If you do not draw arrows at either end, that is not precision. Those are things I count off for. So before you even ask me, I said it, it's in writing, it's on multiple videos, I'm repeating it again. Precision is something I count off for. You need a ruler at this point, because you'll need a ruler for Unit 5. Because a lack of precision in that unit will be obvious when you're graphing. So if you ain't got one, hit up that dollar store. Hit up Walmart. Hit up that Dollar General. Okay? No. You have a parent that's willing to go and buy it. Go and get you a ruler. That was on your supply list day 1. And while you at it, get you some colored markers or pencils because you're going to need it for graphing. Moving on. F of x equals negative 3 over 2x plus 3. Focusing up here, focusing up here. Is this in slope-intercept form?
Yes.
Yes. What's m?
Negative 3 over 2.
Making the slope what?
Negative 3 over 2.
Thank you. What's my b?
3.
So what's my y-intercept?
0 and 3.
Thank you for that correct notation. We always start from the origin. And the first process step says find and mark the y-intercept. So if it's on the y-axis, that means I'm either going up or going down. What is my y-intercept? 3, so I'm going where? How far? And that's where the point is going. From there, my slope is rise over run, so I have to first determine if I'm going up or down. Where am I going? Down. How far? So count with me. You do not count this point, you count away. So that's 1, 2, 3. And then am I going left or right? Right. How far? So 1, 2. I need at least one more point because I know I can fit it. So I need to do the same thing over again. So where am I going? Down 3. So 1, 2, 3. And then? In which direction? Right. 1, 2. That makes 3 points. We need to connect them. That is precision. Any questions there? Arrows at both ends, take it off the graph. Do not stop it at the points. It needs to go off the graph. Any questions? That's precision. This is what I'm looking for. And it's on recording, so which means you know exactly what's going to happen if I don't see it.
Well,
Any questions?
what the line is messed up though?
Fix it. It shouldn't look nothing worse than this. It should be able to be seen as a line. If you need to put more points where it's applicable. You can do that. Any questions? Y equals 4x minus 1, is that in slope-intercept form? Yes. So what's M? So what's my slope? Over. Because you're going to need to be able to graph it. What's B? So what's my y-intercept? Where do I always start from? Nope. The origin. Then where do I need to go in this case? Down 1. Because it's a what kind of 1? Thank you. Then from this point, do I need to go up or down? How far? So 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I shouldn't have put that point there. You're fine. And I need to go where? Over 1 to the right. But notice, I can only go up 3 right here. I can't go up the 4 I need. So I can't do a third point here. So do me a favor. Go back to your y-intercept. And we're going to work backwards. Meaning I need to take the opposite of both 4 and 1. What's the opposite of 4? What's the opposite of 1? That's what I said, the opposite of both. That's how you work backwards. So from this point, I need to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then to the, you see how it still follows in line? Draw your line. Any questions there? Any questions at all? Remember, we're not looking for perfection. We're looking for precision. Those are two separate words. Good idea. That way we're all on the same page there. Y equals -1. What's M? Zero. Making my slope. What's B? What's my y-intercept? I'm not saying yes or no to that because that's not a statement, that's a question, and we haven't even gotten to the part that we need to get to ask that. Where do I always need to start from? The what? The origin. And then where do I go? Down 1, because it's a y-intercept. Y-intercept. Make sure you know that. This is the y. That has to go there. If you don't have a highlighter, you need to circle it. You have to start there first. What kind of line is associated with 0 slope? Think about it before you start speaking, because I'm teaching you how to do what? Then you need to look above your paper. And you tell me what kind of line is example 3 at the top. And what kind of slope did it have? Does undefined mean 0? Sure doesn't. Does undefined mean 0? Sure doesn't. At all. So do me a favor, pull out 4.5 right now. We're reading today. We're reading every day, so don't get it twisted. Math doesn't mean that you don't read. If anything, you read more in here. 4.5. Yeah, than in English, because this one has different context that you have to know. In English, the context is very straightforward. Don't say nothing out loud. That's their problem now. What did I just say? Weaponized incompetence. Hang on to 4.5.
But I was right. I said it.
No, Y'all was saying everything else that matched that one up there. But then you told me undefined and zero are the exact same thing. So we're pulling out those notes. No, we're weaponizing incompetence. The same phrase I said earlier. Because the same people who wait on you to say something were waiting to not take their notes out.
Not me.
You see how that creates a problem?
Yeah.
Because they need to start depending on themselves, right?
Yeah.
Well, you taking my point?
In general, baby. You can't do everything for everybody. They need to do for themselves as well. I know, baby, it's hard to get out of that. I know. I was there too. And it took a teacher telling me the exact same thing. Alyssa, you're not helping anybody by telling them the answers all the time. You're not helping anybody by having your notes ready, but they can't even read theirs. And I was told that from second grade all the way up to college. And it finally took me being in college, paying to be there, to finally realize these people aren't going to be looking up stuff. They're expecting me to give them all the answers. Let them fall where they fall. Because I'm paying to be here. They're not helping me get my degree. I'm helping them get theirs. And what am I getting out of it? Stress. Let the people be where they be at. Okay? No, They just expected me to give the answers. But they learned very quickly. Once we got to senior year, no.
So you stop sharing your answers?
Absolutely. Fail on your own. Because why aren't you doing any work, but you're reaping benefits from somebody else? If you're going to be dumb and be proud of it. If you're going to be lazy and be proud of it. Do not take my work and try to claim it as your own. So in group projects, absolutely sewed you up the river. They didn't do anything. I hope that they get the grade that they deserve. And they did every single time. You can't save everybody. Okay? You see how easily they took out their notes? Can't they look at the same front page you just looked at? Look where it says Y equals on your paper. Find it for me. It should be on the very front page of 4.5. Very front page. You ain't got to flip nowhere.
It's horizontal.
It's what?
Horizontal.
And look at the last statement in that section. It says all horizontal line slopes are what? No. Zero. So, didn't you just tell me that this is zero right here?
Yeah.
And it creates what kind of line?
Horizontal.
Because all we have to do is take the time to do what?
Read.
Thank you.
I knew that.
I love y'all to death. That's why I have these talks with you.
I know. I just didn't read. That's why.
I know, baby. It's acknowledgement. It's acknowledgement. And that's steps in growing. Looking at example 2, if there's no questions on example 1, those first 3, A, B, and C, were all example 1. Example 2 asks the question, what if the equation is not in slope-intercept form? Meaning it started in standard form. So remember, this is from 4.7. Oh, no, baby. This is 4.7, just right here. Because this is 4.8.
Oh, my bad.
You're okay. That's why I wanted to clarify. We're in 4.8, but this is a skill from 4.7. So we're trying to get it out of standard form and put it into slope-intercept form. I would hope so. But I'm going to ask y'all right now to take out your notes for 4.7. Because you need to know this. You need to be able to read and reference your notes. He's not incorrect.
Well, we'll probably have to put talk on his to get those out.
Yes, because we're referencing. Because you know what's going to happen next.
We do it. Here we go.
Everybody ready? Ready to go through this. We have 3x plus 2y equals 8.
-3.
-3 what?
On both sides. X on both sides.
Thank you. Do not drop the variable. It goes with it. What happens here?
Catch what I was going to bring up 2y equals -3x plus 8. And then you divide both sides by 2.
Good job, Keith.
You got y.
So what happens here?
Y, they catch out, then y equals -3 over 2.
We don't know that because have they typed it in?
Nope.
Don't assume. This is still a lesson. So typing in -3 divided by 2. If it gives you a decimal, what do you hit?
Math 1.
Math 1.
Stay the same.
It stay the same.
So what's coming down?
-3/2x.
X.
Much better because everyone was able to verify. Does that make sense, Kingston? It's not that I'm getting on to you. Pace yourself to follow them. Okay? If you're going to be me, you have to treat it the same way. Okay? There you go. What do I do from here?
8 divided by 2.
8 divided by 2. So that's him telling y'all to type it in. He tells, you type.
I just typed it.
You just typed it in. That give everybody else time to type it in. That's how you pace. Okay? Everybody get a chance to type in 8 divided by 2.
Yes, ma'am.
What'd y'all get?
Plus 4.
Is y by itself?
Yes.
Is it in y equals mx plus b form? So what's my m?
-3/2.
Making my slope?
-3/2.
There we go. What's my b?
4.
What's my y-intercept?
0.
Where do I always start from when I'm graphing? The origin. And what do I need to plot first?
Up 4.
Up 4 to the y-intercept. From there, where am I going from this point?
Down 3.
Down 3.
Down 3, 1, 2, 3, and then
2 right.
2 to the right. 1, 2. Do I have space for another point?
Yes.
Then what do I do again?
Down
Down 3. 1.
2, 3, and then
Go over to
to the,
right.
there we go.
1, 2.
Direction matters so much in this because look back at your M. Is it positive or negative?
Negative.
And what is my line doing from left to right? It's going,
Down.
so it makes this negative. You see how it has to match?
Yes, ma'am.
You should be able to draw a slope triangle between all of your points and it still be true. Am I still going down 3 for both of these triangles?
Yes.
Am I still going to the right by 2?
Yes.
That's how I prove
But
it.
you don't, on purpose. So you don't got to remember you gonna kind of round because you a little off.
My thing is you should be able to take your time to make a line that's precise.
Yes, ma'am.
Stop trying to find ways out of precision. If you don't have what I wrote on the supply list, it's not my problem.
I did have one thing away though.
Exactly. Whose fault is that? I told you you're going to need it for graphing. So
My rule at the crib.
you can't blame someone else for your misfortune. You just have to get a ruler. So, any questions here?
No, ma'am.
B, I have x minus y equals 5. What's my first step?
Mine is or something.
Y'all help him out. Kingston, don't say anything else right now.
What let me do?
Goes
Right, y equals now.
I disagree. Something's missing. Negative y.
Negative y equals.
There we go.
You get it.
Negative x.
Plus 5.
There we go. Then,
Divided by negative.
there we go. Leave your y alone. You just take the coefficient. What happens here? Leaving what?
Negative x.
Right here, honey.
Negative.
Right here.
Right.
Y equals.
Oh.
Then, what am I having to do?
-1.
Negative 1.
Thank you, -1 divided by -1. Give people time. I'll tell you when. Jordan, make sure you're typing it in, honey. Just a second. I'm seeing some people type it in just now. All right, what'd y'all get?
Negative 1. X.
Just what?
Oh, just x.
Thank you, because two negatives make a,
Positive.
so those should have canceled each other out. Any questions?
No, ma'am.
What's being typed in next?
5 divided by negative 1.
Thank you, typing that in. Kingston, you're not in trouble, honey. They just got to try.
It'll be.
Because a 31 ain't what you want to see on your test or your exam.
Yes. So,
And that means he cannot carry the team. You have to carry your own part. What'd y'all get?
negative 5. So it'll be minus 5.
So, is y by itself
Yes, ma'am.
positive
Yes.
in the form y equals mx plus b?
Yes, ma'am.
So what's m?
1.
What's slope?
1 over 1.
Because I need to know how to graph it, right?
Yes.
What's b?
Negative 5.
Negative 5.
What's
my y-intercept?
0, negative 5.
Great job. Where do I always start from? And where am I going to go?
Down 5.
Absolutely, because we have to plot the y-intercept first. Where am I going from this point?
1 over 1.
And then
1 over 1.
I have at least 3 points. That works for me.
I make more than I need to, right?
You can make more if you need to. Remember, I said it's all up to you. Get a ruler, preferably. That way you have a straight edge to make this a lot more simple. Sir.
Like, my arrow, they're off the page, they're not like as far off as yours, maybe that far off.
Baby, just take it off the graph. Just take it off the graph. Don't overthink what I'm asking precision-wise. Just take it off the graph, put arrows. Off the graph can mean right here, because that's still off the graph. Okay? Any questions on B? Let's look at C. Can I read it first? Give me a minute. Negative 5x minus 6y equals 24. Now what do I do? Y'all help him out. What did I just say? Do I need to tell Zai to not speak either? If you don't know what you're doing, is that a red flag? Should you be asking for help? Should you be asking questions, period? So if you know what you're doing, should I be hearing more people? What happens to these fives? Much better. Let's see if we can get even better. What's coming down?
-6y
Better. We can get even better. Equals what?
5x.
That's beautiful. I'm hearing way more people. From there, what do I need to do? What happens to these negative 6s? Leaving.
Y equals
What's being typed in? Just 5 divided by negative 6, because we're going to keep the negative with the 6 for right now. So 5 divided by negative 6, typing it in. If it gives you a decimal, what do you need to hit? Thank you so much. What'd you get? Now we can move that negative up top. What comes behind the M? X. What am I typing in next? 24 divided by negative 6. Great. Hearing way more people. That's what I need to hear. Not yet. Give your people time. I still heard fingers hitting the keyboard, baby. What'd y'all get? Is y by itself? Positive. Written in form, y equals mx plus b. So what's m? What's my slope? We don't know that yet. We're just writing out key pieces. Don't assume yet, because have we gotten there? That's what I mean by trying to stay with the group. That way we don't get overwhelmed with things we haven't even talked about yet, okay? From there, what's B? What's y-intercept? Where do I always start from? The origin. And then where do I go? Down 4, because that's my y-intercept. Now, he asked the question, should we switch? Let's check. Do I have enough space to go down 5? So that means I need to take the opposite of what? One or both of them? Both of them. So what should be the top number? 5 over what? No. Negative 6. Because this was our negative, so it became positive. This was our positive, so it became negative. So where am I going? Up how far? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then? Left how far? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All we have space for are those 2 points. Any questions there? Make sure it goes through all of your points, off the graph, arrows at either end. Remember, if there's no arrows, that's lacking precision. If it's not going through all your points off the graph, that's lacking precision. If I can't tell that it's a linear function, that's lacking precision. If it looks like a quadratic, that's a problem. If it looks like a cubic, that's a problem. Any questions? Any at all? Look at number 2 down here on the practice really fast. I want to talk about this. I have y equals negative 4/3 x. What's m?
Negative 4/3.
Absolutely. What's my slope?
Negative 4/3.
What's b?
0.
Because what's written there that we can't see? Making my y-intercept what? Nope. 0, 0. What do you mean? Undefined talks about slope of vertical lines. This has a y. This isn't vertical. Where do I always start from? But do I need to go anywhere in this case? Because isn't my y-intercept 0, 0? Then where do I go from there? Nope. No. Down 4, because it's rise over run. And then? To what direction? Thank you. Does direction matter? For me to go in the opposite direction to get 3 points, what do I make the 4? And the 3? Thank you. So from this point, where am I going? And then? There we go. Direction matters. Any questions there? I would circle the practice problems that I'm doing with you, that way that you know. When you're finished with that one, flip it over, go to question number 9. Yeah, question number 9. Everybody good there? What's my M here? Read your notes. And you ain't got to look far. It's either 4.5 or look at the front of this page. Go on and look. Those just sitting there waiting on me to write. That's your problem. Don't weaponize your ignorance. What is the slope? Thank you. Because what notes did you look at? Number 3 on the front page or 4.5. Because it's written on the front page of both of those, correct? So what's the slope here? Thank you. Because it starts with a what? It starts with a what? Making the slope what? Think before you say this. Where's the y-intercept? Think before you speak. That means you need to do what before you tell me? You know you need to what before you say anything? Read. So you need to go back to an example that looks just like this and look at where it says y-intercepts. Meaning what? Meaning, is there one? That means there's not one. That does not mean 0. That means there's not one. Say it with me. There's not one, Miss Lipsey.
There's not one.
Where's the y-intercept? No. Where's the y-intercept? So what did I just tell you to say back to me? All right, so let's practice together. Don't say it without me counting to 3, okay? I'm going to ask the question. I'm going to count to 3. Sweet angel children, where is the y-intercept? 1, 2, 3.
There's not one, Miss Lipsey.
Thank you. So that means if there's not one here, is there one there that's going to spontaneously pop up?
Oh.
So what are you going to say?
There's not one.
There's not one what? Thank you. So where do I always start from? The origin. And then where do I go?
Oh. No.
To the right.
To the right. How far? Thank you. Think before you speak on this question. This is testing if you are reading, which means reference a problem that looks like this before I ask this question. How should I graph this line? Vertical.
Yes.
You see how easy it is when we read? You see how simple it is when we read? That's all I ever wanted for you, was to read.
Yeah, thank you.
That's the one thing you can do, is read. Any questions?
No, ma'am.
Now we're ready for some practice problems. So, you're doing 1 and 3 on this side. And then you're going to do 8. So 1, 3, 8. They're going to think that I'm mean to y'all in this video. I'm fine with it. If it means that you're reading, I'm fine with it. Use your notes.
Yes.
So, what's my M?
Negative 8.
-8. What is my slope?
-8 over 1.
-8 over 1. What's my B?
Plus
5.
And then what's my y-intercept?
0,
So where do I always start from? The origin, and then where do I need to go? Up 5. Where do I go from there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You have to count from the dot. You do not start on the dot. You count away from it to the right one. You only have space for 2 points, and that's all you needed. So if you saw me putting a blue dot, that means your dots were wrong. Your precision was off. Your counting was off. Doesn't mean you're a terrible person. It means you have to count better. Zai, this way. Any questions here? Look at number 3. Didn't we just do one like this? And I even had mine projected on the screen, so which means you had the time. So, what's M?
0.
What's slope?
0.
What's my B?
4.
What's my Y-intercept?
4.
Where do I always start from? And then where do I go?
4.
And it's what type of line?
Vertical.
Arrows at either end. It is precision. Any questions? Number 8. Is it in slope-intercept form? How do I get it there? Minus 5x on both sides, because I'm solving for y. So what happens to those 5x's? So what's being brought down?
Y equals negative 5x plus 10.
Then what do I need to do?
The whole day, my father.
Absolutely.
The father's pressing hole.
Leaving
Y equals negative 1.
negative 1.
X plus 2.
Is that in slope-intercept form?
Yes.
Because it's y equals mx plus b. What's m?
Negative 1.
What's my slope?
2.
Nope.
I mean negative 1.
Over.
1.
What's b?
2.
What's my y-intercept?
0.
Where do I always start from?
4.
Then where do I go?
Up 2.
Where do I go from there?
Down 1 over 1.
To what direction? The right. You have to learn how to count for your precision. If you don't put points on there, I count it off for that as well. I'm not for the guesstimation. Put your points. If your teacher can do it, you can do it. Any questions? When should your notes be turned in?
Today.
Today.